Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're so glad that you're a part of the show here today. Before we go on, I'd like to just let our listeners know in the second hour, we have a free gift for you. It's a bi-monthly newsletter called What's New. A lot of the topics we cover on the radio show here are covered in further detail. It's yours free for the asking. Give us a call at New Concepts during the week, 952-922-2500. Ask for Courtney. She'll make sure that you start receiving your free subscription.
And if you have a question or comment about anything you've heard on the show, or you want to suggest a topic, leave us a message on our hotline, 952-224-2668, or email Gene, Gene, at ncmgi.com.
Yes. Or you can also friend us on Facebook as well. And any of those comments we will take with us and bring into the studio for next week's show. If you're just joining us, we're talking to you about the homeowners at the Red Rock Village Homeowners Association. It's an association not fully finished by the developer.
Doesn't sound like it's completely finished because the developer is still a presence.
Yep. And so there are homeowners that have bought. There was major storm damage, and now there's an expense that's associated with it that was above what the monthly operating budget could cover. And the homeowners are surprised that this is something that has to come out of their pocket, and they want to know why the association doesn't pay for it. But of course, as we've been talking about, the association
is paying for it. Aren't they?
It's the homeowners.
But the association are us. So that means that when the association pays, ultimately it's coming out of your pocket as a member of that association, either in the monthly expenses, if it is an operational expense that was budgeted for, that comes out of your monthly assessment to the association. If not, if it was not in the operating budget, it might be a special assessment, meaning, hey, we've got this unique situation. We got to take care of this fencing. You're each going to be charged X number of dollars to repair the fences.
Yes. So the idea that it's the association isn't anybody but the homeowners themselves.
That's right. It's not the management company.
Soylent Green is an HOA.
I beg your pardon.
That's a bad movie reference here. We'll go on.
All right.
But anyway, let's talk about what's going on here. One of the misstatements made by someone in the association is this statement right here. The homeowner association that manages the community is so-and-so community management. Or now they name a property management firm.
That's right.
We need to let you know the property management firm is not the association.
No, no, we are not. And that's a boundary that people blur all the time.
Yeah.
We are not making the decisions for your community. Your board of directors, your members are making the decisions for your community, and we carry out those decisions on behalf of the board. They're hiring us to be the hands and legs to do the tasks.
Yes. If there's any authority that a property management company has or property manager has, it is delegated authority. It's authority that's been bestowed upon them by someone else.
Well put.
And that is why a person needs to listen. A good example of that is the IRS. The IRS is backed by the federal government. Why does the IRS have authority? Because it's backed by the government.
Right. The government gave them authority. Yeah.
And so who gave the government authority? We, the people, did for that form of taxation.
Yeah.
We've allowed that, and so it comes back to us, the homeowners, to us, the individuals in the community, in the state, in the country where you live.
We're also, so often the management company is considered to be some kind of evil entity, some evil landlord in a homeowners association, and even legislators confuse that issue. Even the courts confuse that issue. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Certainly the media confuses that issue all the time, as in this article. Yeah. They're calling the homeowners association by the name of the management company.
Yes. And there are a couple of interesting issues here looking at this that I think we should also address here too. Number one, we've talked about it, and that is, of course, number one, they are the individual homeowners are the homeowner association, of
That's
course.
right.
Number two, I think we've already talked about this too, and that is people didn't like the idea that there was this plastic vinyl fence that was there to begin with, and now that that needed to go back up again, people are saying, I didn't like it, and I told you I didn't like it. Well, just because you've shared your displeasure did not mean that the developer of the property was going to change and take everything out and put in another another product.
Now, I want to say, I think people should ask for what they want. I think people should state what they want, what their expectations are, and what they would like to see happen. However, as an adult person, I need to take no for an answer when I get no for an answer. Don't I?
Oh, sure.
I mean, those are the possibilities. I'll either get yes or no.
But I'll tell you what, because of the type of country that we live in, and because we live in a free market, had homeowners at the very beginning told Pulte as they were developing and building, and that first vinyl fence started going up, if all the homeowners said, we don't like that, it looks a little chintzy to us, and they weren't getting people to buy.
If people said, I'm not buying here because your fence looks like,
I bet you in a heartbeat, Pulte would have been
because
changing.
the market dictates it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that would have taken place. But there is.
What else do you have?
Well, right now, because of that, people are upset now because they said this vinyl fence has to be put in.
It has to be replaced with the same.
We'd like to also just reiterate and also comfort you homeowners who are upset with this vinyl fence being put in, and say that's only temporary. I mean, right now, the association is run by an entity, and that happens to be the developer, only because the developer owns most of the land or all of the land at the very beginning.
That has not been sold. They haven't sold up the whole place. Yeah.
At the point of any association getting to about the 75% mark.
It varies from
it varies.
Association to association.
But a majority, a clear majority of the homeowners have purchased and now live at the property. There is something that's called the transitional meeting.
Yep.
And that's where the authority switches from the developer builder to the individual homeowners themselves. So if you don't like...
Let me correct that a bit. It switches from the developer to the homeowners association as a group, not to individual owners.
Oh,
I think there's a distinction there.
Yes, I'm saying yes. We're on the same page here.
Yep.
But yes, I maybe didn't say that quite accurate.
Well, it's one of those things that gets confused.
Yes,
the power goes to the homeowners association, which means all the members.
But the homeowner association again is the individual homeowners.
Is made up of individual homeowners.
Yes.
That's right.
So the individual homeowners have a say of who these people are going to be
because
that
they get
are now
to elect
going
their
to
board.
rule the
That's
board.
Right.
That's
they get to elect their board, and the board's going to operate the homeowners association. And then what can they do?
And then once that's in place, now they are in control, and they can say,
"That's right.
We like that vinyl fence. We don't like that vinyl fence."
That's right. That's right.
And if you don't like the vinyl fence, you have the right to be able to nix that and have that go.
But I guarantee you this is what happens because I'm in a foul frame of mind with this issue.
Okay.
The homeowners are in charge of the association now. There's a board of directors. The vote comes up to all the members. Do you want to keep vinyl fences or do you want to replace them with cedar fences? And most of the homeowners decide in favor of keeping the vinyl fences.
Well, they're going to initially say, we want the cedar fences, but
That's
then
right.
they find something called the price, right?
Then they find out how much it's going to cost and how much it's going to cost to maintain.
And then they say, you know what? That vinyl is looking a little bit better
That vinyl
all the time.
looks great to me. But then there's going to be that handful of people who, again, did not get what they wanted.
Yes.
They didn't get their cedar fences. And now they're going to say, we're being screwed by the homeowners association, the evil board of directors. Yes. And, they never want to take on responsibility.
So that's right. So if you don't like the idea that you may not be found in the majority of the wishes that are expressed in an association, you really shouldn't buy because it's not going to be a pleasant experience for you at all.
You know what's interesting? This is an aside. I hope that's okay.
Sure.
I do some speaking for Habitat for Humanity and some training, and they build very small homeowner associations, usually 6 units, 10 units, very small, tight group. And I meet with this group when it's going to be turned over to the homeowners. Many of the owners there are immigrant families. English is a second language. And I'll tell you, they pay such close attention to all of these issues about what their rights are and who's in control. They understand very well before they purchase what's going on, because they're the ones that say to me, do you mean that if I don't want that, but the majority of my neighbors say they do, then I have to put up with that? And I say, yes. And you can just see the wheels turning. Is this really worth it to me? It's different possibly from the culture they come from. So they're really making some
right.
judgments based on fact.
Habitat for Humanity does a great job of education. And it's an important piece,
They
too.
do.
What's interesting here, last couple comments here before we go off on this subject right here. It was kind of interesting. One homeowner who did not, of course, like the vinyl fence, made the comment that Pulte, the developer here, was great. They said, look, on all of the fences that blew down were property where nobody's living because we still own it, we're putting up the fences at our expense. We're not turning to the association. Number 2, if the fence that blew down by a property that is uninhabited with one of our units is next to one that's habited by a homeowner, we're going to put up the fence anyway at our expense.
Yes, but they agreed to pay for anything that their land touched on. They would pay for that fence.
But the rest, you individual homeowners in the association need to pay for the restoration because it wasn't in the budget, and it may or may not be taken care of with insurance.
Yeah, we don't know anything about insurance claims.
And there was one homeowner who said that their home, where the fence went down, was by the entrance of the property, and he said that he was going to. He said I'm willing to just leave this thing lay on the ground because he said it's the main road where they bring prospective buyers through. So I think this homeowner was so upset.
This is how he's going to get even.
He was going to spite his nose to save his face. He said, I hope it looks shabby and Pulte can't find another buyer.
Does he know what the consequences are?
No.
Pulte will never get out of there if they don't sell all those homes.
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think we've covered quite a bit on this story, but folks, again, not everybody's I guess made for a homeowners association.
That's right. You really need to think carefully about it. You may not be the type of person that would thrive in a communal environment.
Yes. Well, we'll set that aside. We were going to talk about this case about Nevada with people being upset, but a topic that I think I'd like to change, Tony, and have us deal with would be this. It's an interesting case in Madison, Wisconsin. There's a grassroots surge going on of homeowners in this neighborhood who are creating what they call a Leave It to Beaver style neighborhood. And I think there's some real positive things here. We want to talk about it next here on Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We'll be back after these messages.